All right, let's jump right in. The electrical code, it can feel like this super complicated, impossible to read rule book, right? But it's really just a blueprint for keeping you and your family safe. So what we're going to do is decode the most important parts by taking a virtual tour of a house, room by room. You'll see exactly how these rules are working to protect you every single day.
And it really all starts with a simple question. I mean, you've seen these buttons a million times, but what are they actually for? I promise you, it's not just some random feature. It's a tiny, life-saving device that's required by the very system of rules we're about to explore. And honestly, the answer is the perfect way to get into the hidden world of your home's wiring. Okay, before we go any further, you need to meet the star of our show today, the branch circuit. Think about it like this. If your main panel is the power station for your whole house, then branch circuits are the power lines that carry that electricity on its final journey, that last mile, straight to the outlets and lights you use every day. And basically, every single rule we're going to talk about is all about making that last mile as safe as it can possibly be. And the official rule book for that last mile, well, that would be Article 210 of the National Electrical Code, or the NEC for short. This thing is the absolute bedrock of residential electrical safety. It governs everything, from where you can put an outlet to what kind of protection it needs. Here's a great way to picture it. Your breaker panel is the big electrical highway. Well, Article 210 is kind of like the traffic law for all the smaller local roads, the branch circuits. It makes sure the power gets to your TV and your toaster safely, without causing, traffic jams or fiery pileups. So, let's start our tour in the spots around the house where the risks are the absolute highest. And where's that? Anywhere you find water. So we're talking kitchens, bathrooms, and even outside. This is where the code gets super specific because, as we all know, water and electricity are a truly deadly combination. And to keep us safe in these areas, the code gives us two different kinds of guardians. And you've got to know the difference. First, there's the GFCI. That's the one with our test and reset buttons. Its whole job is to protect people from electric shock. Simple as that. Then there's the AFCI, which we'll meet in a bit. Its job is to protect the house itself from catching fire. But right now, in these high-risk zones, it is all about the GFCI. So, let's talk about the kitchen. The magic number here is 2. The code says, flat out, that every kitchen has to have at least 2 dedicated 20-amp circuits just for the countertop appliances. Why 2? Because a modern kitchen with a microwave, a coffee maker, and an air fryer all running would overwhelm a single circuit in a heartbeat. And notice they have to be 20-amp circuits. Again, why? Because all those small appliances are seriously power hungry. A normal 15-amp circuit would be tripping your breaker all the time. This 20-amp rule makes sure the whole system can handle the load you throw at it without overheating. Now, where you put the outlets? In the kitchen, they have to be spaced so that no spot along your countertop is more than 2 feet away from a plug. In practice, that means the outlets themselves can't be more than 4 feet apart. And the goal is brilliant. It's to make sure you always have an outlet right where you need it, so you're never tempted to stretch a cord across a wet sink. And that same logic applies to other wet places. Every single bathroom needs its own dedicated 20-amp GFCI protected circuit just for its outlets. And, just like in the kitchen, placement is key. It's got to be within 3 feet of the sink. And of course, any plug you see on the outside of your house, whether it's for your holiday lights or a power tool, it has to have that same GFCI protection. No exceptions. Okay, let's step out of the high-risk water zones and head into the living room and the bedrooms. Now, in here, the main danger we're worried about isn't shock from water. It's the risk of a fire starting from wiring that's gotten damaged over time. And this is where our second guardian comes into play, the AFCI. So what's an arc fault? Well, it's like a tiny rogue spark of electricity that can happen if a wire gets frayed, or maybe pinched behind a heavy bookcase, or someone accidentally puts a nail through it. That tiny spark creates intense heat that can easily start a fire inside your walls. The AFCI is an incredibly smart device that's always listening for the unique electrical signal of that dangerous spark, and it shuts the power off instantly before a fire can start. For these general living areas, the code has something called the 6-foot rule, and it's actually pretty simple. You start at a doorway, you measure 6 feet along the wall, and boom, you need an outlet. From that outlet, you can go a maximum of another 12 feet before you need the next one. The end result is that no matter where you are along a wall, you're never more than 6 feet away from a plug. But why? And here is the simple, absolutely genius reason behind that rule. It's all about one thing: getting rid of extension cords. The people who write the code know that extension cords are a major fire hazard. We run them under rugs, they get frayed, they get overloaded. It's a huge problem. So, by making sure you always have an outlet nearby, the code pretty much removes the temptation to ever use one. It's brilliant.
All right, it's time for the last stop on our little tour, the real workhorse areas of your home. We're talking garages, basements, and laundry rooms. These spaces are interesting because they combine the risks we've already seen. You've got powerful appliances and the potential for dampness or water.
So as you'd expect, the rules here are a logical mix of everything we've learned. Your garage, it needs at least one dedicated 20-amp circuit, and yes, it's got to be GFCI protected for your power tools. Got a damp, unfinished basement or a crawl space? Every single outlet down there needs GFCI protection. And the laundry area needs its own dedicated 20-amp circuit just to handle the power of a modern washing machine. See? It all makes sense.
And that brings us to the real heavy hitters, the biggest power hogs in your house. Things like your central AC unit, your furnace, your electric water heater. These things are so powerful they can't share a circuit with anything else. The code demands they get their own individual branch circuit. This prevents overloads and makes sure they have all the stable power they need to run safely and efficiently.
Now for a second, let's peek inside the walls at the wires themselves. I promise you, this is not just a random rainbow of colors. It's a strict, universal safety language. Black, red, or blue wires are hot. They carry the power. White or gray wires are neutral. They complete the circuit. And the most important one for safety, the ground wire, is always green or just bare copper. Following this color code is absolutely non-negotiable for anyone working on an electrical system. So, we've finished our tour of the house. We've gone from the kitchen to the bedroom to the basement. And as you've probably noticed, every single one of these rules, from outlet spacing to wire color, they're all driven by three simple core principles.
Number 1, first and foremost, protect people from deadly electric shock. That is the entire reason GFCI outlets exist in your kitchen, your bathroom, and your garage. It's the code's #1 priority, period.
Second, prevent fires. That's the whole job of those AFCI breakers that are watching over your living spaces. And it's the beautiful, simple logic behind the 6-foot outlet rule that's designed to make dangerous extension cords obsolete.
And third, avoid overloading the system. This is why your kitchen has those 2 dedicated circuits and why your air conditioner gets its very own line back to the panel. It's all about making sure the system is tough enough to handle everything we plug into it.
When you really look at it, the electrical code isn't just a boring list of rules for electricians. It's this active, intelligent safety system that's working all around you 24/7. So the next time you plug in your coffee maker or charge your phone, just take a second and ask yourself, what part of that system am I counting on right now? Is it a GFCI protecting me from shock, an AFCI preventing a fire, or a dedicated circuit that's preventing an overload? Because I guarantee you, you're always relying on one of them.